Welcome to World Trend Stories. Today, we dive deep into a seismic trade shaking up the NBA world, the Blockbuster deal between the New York Knicks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. With Karl-Anthony Towns heading to the Big Apple and Julius Randle making his way to Minnesota, both franchises are gambling big on their futures. Let's break down what this trade means for both teams and how it reshapes the NBA landscape. Karl-Anthony Towns, a four-time All-Star, a proven scorer, and a dominant force in the paint. He's now in New York. But how did we get here? Towns has been the face of the Timberwolves since 2015, consistently putting up big numbers, including an average of 21.8 points per game last season. However, with his $220 million contract kicking in, the Wolves were facing significant salary cap challenges. New York saw this as an opportunity to snag one of the NBA's best offensive centers and elevate their title aspirations. On the other side of the trade, the Timberwolves bring in Julius Randle, a player with undeniable talent but mixed reviews from fans, particularly after his recent playoff struggles. Despite these criticisms, Randle's numbers speak for themselves: 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. While he may not have the same floor spacing ability as Towns, his offensive prowess and toughness could help the Wolves maintain their competitive edge, especially with Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert still in the mix. Money talks. One of the biggest drivers behind this trade is financial flexibility. Minnesota, already deep into the luxury tax, had to make some hard decisions. With Towns' Supermax deal on the books alongside Gobert's and soon-to-be Anthony Edwards' contract, the Wolves needed to cut costs. Enter Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo. Randle's $30 million player option and DiVincenzo's $11.9 million salary give Minnesota breathing room to restructure their future roster without committing long-term. But it's not all about offense. Defense wins championships, and this is where both teams face uncertainties. The Knicks have struggled defensively in the past, and integrating Towns into Tom Thibodeau's system could be a challenge. Meanwhile, Randle's defensive weaknesses might complicate things for Minnesota, especially with the slower pace of Gobert's game. Both teams will have to make adjustments if they want to take the next step toward contention. For Towns, this trade is more than just a business transaction. It's the end of an era. He was Minnesota's first overall pick in 2015 and helped lead them to some of their most memorable moments. But the NBA is a fast-moving league, and sometimes tough decisions must be made for a franchise's future. Towns himself was surprised by the trade, but now he heads back to the East Coast, to his childhood home of New Jersey, where the spotlight will burn even brighter. As for Minnesota, the future now hinges on the chemistry between Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle. Edwards, the emerging star, has the potential to lead the Wolves deep into the playoffs, but how will Randle's play style fit? Minnesota is betting on Randle's offensive flexibility and leadership to complement Edwards' explosive scoring and Gobert's defensive presence. The Wolves are aiming for a new level of playoff success, but only time will tell if this gamble pays off. As both teams gear up for the new season, fans and analysts alike are left wondering, did the Knicks and Timberwolves make the right move? Can Karl-Anthony Towns bring New York back into title contention? Will Julius Randle's presence help or hinder Minnesota's playoff hopes? Only time will reveal the full impact of this trade, but one thing's for sure: both teams have pushed all their chips onto the table. Thanks for watching this in-depth breakdown of the Knicks-Timberwolves trade. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to World Trend Stories for more updates on the latest sports news, world events, and trending stories. Until next time, stay tuned.